Right. I'm also going to click start recording, so it records a file. We're good, bud. We're live. We're fucking doing it.
Hello then, everyone. Welcome to the 2K Fantasy Premier League podcast. This must be our first attempt at a 25-26 pod. We are still experimenting with the YouTube, or YouTube, I should say. I think Kev's almost mastered this, but at the moment, I don't sound like I'm drowning in a stream, but I may sound like that when everyone listens to this later on. Plan for the pod is, I think, as people know, we've had a few rule changes. We've just seen that there's been a few price changes, so we thought we'd just chat through that. Hopefully, the sound's good and you'll have a bit of fun. But before I dive into all that, how's the summer holidays so far, Kev? You went away for a couple of weeks to the cottage, did you?
Yeah, that was good. My parents are here now. Busy time, man. Back at work with them here. Bunch of shit going on. It's busy, man. There's a lots happening.
Usual.
2 weeks off was good, and then we're gonna do 2 more weeks in August. I was kind of hoping the game would be launched by now. Like, fuck, I don't even. It's like totally new game. Just hey, we're normally be launching price reveals by now, which they just did some 3. But instead, we're going to tell you how we basically made it the Champions League version of fantasy and changed everything.
Yeah, so
have fun, guys. It's a totally different game basically now.
So first game of the season's what, 22nd, 23rd of August? 15th?
15th, I think.
Oh, you're right, yeah, 15th. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused.
Pretty tight, man. I mean, I don't. It's not a big deal. It's just we're used to it. While I was on vacation, it normally launches while I'm on vacation. I know, like every year, on the first 2 weeks of July, I take on vacation. And every year, I distinctly remember waking up in my cottage, like that bedroom, and like checking my phone and be like, "Oh fuck, game's going," and then tinkering for like 2 or 3 days on vacation. So that's it. Like I know in my mind this is late, and then I went and I looked. I actually went into fantasy news, and I just kept clicking back a year to like about a year ago, and it's like price reveals today, and it was the 10th of July. So I was like,
I mean, it's close, isn't it? Because they've made these changes to try and get more people in the game, but the game launches like 3 weeks on. The first match is 3 weeks on Friday, so there's not a lot of time, is there? We're less than 4 weeks away.
They must have waited for that stupid fucking dumb Saudi league with Donald Trump.
Oh, the World
Cup about to end. Because I think when the World Cup or whatever Euros were on the other year, they didn't launch like that. Kind of ran a little late, and they waited a bit later in July that year. I remember too. So they don't like to interfere with other things that generate the money. And also, probably, I don't know, with Jota passing away, that probably, they probably had a day or two to figure out the best, most appropriate thing to do and all that. And I mean, the later it launches in terms of being best for the actual accuracy of the game, the better, because all these transfers are happening. Like, someone like Brian Bumo, I mean, the prices, it looks like are about to start coming out now. They've just launched 3 on a Sunday, which I thought stuff would basically pause till a weekday when they all go back to work or whatever. But they're coming out now. But I thought, like, someone like Brian Bumo, like, to me, it is worth a lot more playing for Brentford than he is for Man U, where you've got other penalty takers on the team. So, like, if I was
like an Eze
dictator, yeah, exactly. These guys move. It's like, you think it's better because they're going to a better team. And to me, it's shittier. Like, how'd Grealish do in City versus being the fucking bona fide star at Villa? Like that's how I view Bumo to a lesser degree. He's going to be more important to Man U than Grealish was to City. But still, he's not going to be on pens. He's not going to be taking every set piece. Like, this is a big deal for Bumo, right? Like, so like if you're going to just go off of how good he was last season, they might put him at like 9. Where if he's at United, like, cool, I'm not going to touch him most likely all season now because he's at 9. Like Bruno wasn't even 9.
Well, the thing is that, But I think they've also got a trickier start to the season. But shall we have a look at I think
what do you want to do? You want to go? You want to go through all the? We were thinking we would just share this screen here,
and just got the 5 big changes, right? So we have 5 changes to the game. You've got increased points of defensive contributions. We now have 2 sets of chips, the first half and second half of season. We have the changes to assist rules, which basically means everyone's going to get an assist. So like those stupid deflections don't count, will count as goals.
Sure.
A small tweak to the bonus system, and then you've got extra transfers for game week 16 for AFCON. So they're the 5 ones, but we should step through each of them, right, Kev? So do you want to start with the defensive contributions one?
Yeah. And why don't you say it in like terms that a Muppet like me could understand? Because I barely read this stuff. I just blurt out opinions. I want to make sure I know exactly what's happened here. So here's my take on the defensive contribution thing, and then you can kind of tell me the actual definition of it, right? To the rule of the law. So my takeaway is, if you're a defender, you got to do 10 of these fancy little defensive things, which I'm assuming we're going to be able to count along with them as they do them on your sports scoring app or whatever.
CBIT. Remember CBIT.
Like clearances, blocks, interceptions, and tackles, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So you hit 10, you get 2 points. You're done. You can get to fucking 40 CBITs. You get 2 points. You get 9, you get nothing. You get 8, you get nothing. You get 10 plus, you get 2. Midfielders need 12 CBITs. They must get more on average a game. They're smart people over there. They know what they're doing. So same thing with a midfielder. You get to 12 plus, you get 2. You get 11, 10, 9. You get 0. You get 409 in a game. You get 2. Right? So far, so good.
Yeah, but they also have an R in there. They have CBIT
recoveries. Then
they have an R.
Recoveries.
They have ball recoveries as well. So you're right. They need 12, but they have a ball recoveries as well, which is
that's what it is. Recoveries for mids are huge, like common. Right. So now my takeaway is a few things like. At first, I'm like, the defenders were absolute trash last year for scoring. This helps them a bit become relevant again, so I don't think it's a bad thing. Some people go, Caicedo, he's going to be a guy now. I'm looking, it's like adding 36 points or something like Caicedo. So, I still view him as just, potentially irrelevant. Unless he's 4-5. But are they going to bump their prices up because they get more points now? Because that's where they got to be careful. If they make these guys 4-5, and if they make Rodri, I think Rodri before he got injured was 6 or 6.5, because he fucking put up 10 goals. So if Rodri's going to put up 45 points, I know he didn't last year, but they showed the other years before Rodri was at the top. He's putting up 40, 42. He's just going to throw 40, 42 points on Rodri. He's going to be like Mo Palmer Rodri. So you can't have Rodri at 6 now. Is he going to be 8? Are they going to make it so we all just have a defensive mid as our 5th mid? But obviously we're all going to have Rodri. It's like how are they going to price Rodri is where my mind went. How are they going to price? Because it's not going to be Caicedo. It's going to be like the Enzo Rodri, the guy that actually gets attacking returns.
I definitely Enzo's interesting. I think Declan. Well, I'm putting my Arsenal hat on here. Declan Rice.
Rice was a beast at West Ham, but he's more attacking. Like he wasn't even in the top 10, was he? With
okay.
They showed historically the 2 biggest seasons ever were Rice at West Ham. 60 points he got in one, right? Basically got it almost every game. 2 points. But then at Arsenal, no, didn't happen.
I think he's more of number 8 than the 6 for us, isn't he? But I guess the
reason why the fucking ball. So it's interesting. Rodri. So my thought is most of these teams are going to be like the Tarkowskis, where they're on a shitty fucking team. So for them to go get the ball back, that's going to be happening a lot because here comes Here comes Brighton again. They got the ball and they're attacking. Oh, we got it back. Give it away. Oh, here they come again. Got it back. Clear it. Right? Where Arsenal's like, we got the ball. But what I think, why I think Rodri's an anomaly is he's like the only guy doing that. He's just like on it in midfield. Where with Arsenal, Rice is really good at that. But you had Partey and you had.
It's not Zubimendi. Yeah,
it's more spread out. Where with City, Rodri's just this one guy. So I think that's an anomaly. But it's for the most part. Enzo's name wasn't on there, right? Chelsea also have possession, so it's going to be this tricky balance of like. Is the bump even going to matter for the players that are the elite guys? Like Tarkowski gets an extra 40 points. Cool. Is that even going to matter for him? Like obviously, like they showed that it bumped up the two center backs for Forest to the top, but Forest going to go keep like 14, 15 clean sheets again? Like typically when a team is really well at doing that, they aren't the year after, and we all get fooled. Like when Branthwaite and Tarkowski were priced at like 5 million the other year, and it was like nobody has them now. That kind of shit. So there's a lot to think about here. But why don't you tell the letter of the law? Because that's sort of where my brain.
I think that's right.
Jump forward.
So for the defender, they need to, as you say, they need to get 10 clearances, blocks, interceptions, or tackles, and then when they get 10 or more, they'll get 2 extra bonus points. And the midfielders, as you described it, they need 12, but they also get ball recoveries as part of that list.
I think we got to change it from CBIT. We got to make it like cheeky bastards or something. Like we can't be saying CBIT. They got to get 10 cheeky bastards.
Or Bitsy, yeah. I think the thing it's going to create is, I think we might end up with some very template defenders. Because I could see, like, my instinct is that Vardio was maybe moving towards, because he was the player that we talked about having in our team that was back in the last season, we're having this season. I just think someone like him might just, because he attacks, but I think he also does all those other things. And I just can see Vardio just being the absolute defender we all have to have. You're probably right. Maybe Rodri's the guy. The reason why I thought Rice I thought Rice stats might be. I've not looked at historical stats on it. It's just because Rice is on corners. He's probably going to take free kicks after he scored. Well, I guess he's only scored in the Champions League, but I'm thinking he's scoring goals as well. I just think that. But you're right. It's that the midfielder is going to be who are the midfielders who can get this like every other game, let's say, but can also contribute on assists and goals. And that's the other thing as well, is this interlinks. This makes midfield even better because the midfielders are going to more likely to get the assist as well now, right? Because perhaps it makes sense to go to the assist next. Because I think that's another boost for the midfielders.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so that's the next one.
Yeah.
So 2 sets of chips. All right, you change this to the assist rule. Okay. Before you read this out, you're right. Like forwards are going to be giving even more additional points to mids. I mean, I haven't looked at the changes to the bonus points rules. Maybe just forwards get every bonus point every game now or something to offset this. But like basic killing for like it's like to try to balance something like defenders being shit, but then they pump mid again. They kind of showed that like Mo and someone like that would have got 0 of these points, so it doesn't impact that. But there's going to be someone that's a cross between like 14 attacking return type player that's going to get like 30 free points here. It's like they're just getting an extra 10 assists of points on top of their like 13 attacking returns they already get as like a decent asset. It's all just going to come down to how do they price these guys. Are they still going to be like 5 million mids, 6 million mids? Or are they going to be like, no, these guys are going to get an extra 25 to 45 points, so we got to bump them up a mil. So that'll be what's interesting on and to cross it over. So how does the assist change work?
So I think there's 3 main things. If you've got a cross into the box and the defender has a touch on it, but it still gets an attacking player and they score, that will now count as an assist. You recall the last couple of seasons that hasn't. So these sort of small deflections will no longer sort of rule out the assist. I think that's quite a big one because there's been what maybe seems like a few inconsistencies. You know, where you sort of get people protesting that their player, it was the tiniest touch and they didn't count it as an assist. So that's all. But it has to be inside the area. So I think that's probably the most significant change. But it is when it's inside the box, and that's really important. The other thing is
they have to receive it outside the box.
No, they have to. No, if they receive it, if you pass it into the box, if you receive it outside the box, then deflections. It's slightly confusing, but my understanding of it is if someone crosses it into the box and it hits the defender, and then the attacker gets it and scores, that's an assist. But if you cross it across the box, outside the box, it hits the defender, then goes to the attacker, that's not an assist.
So you have to receive it in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the guy gets the assist off a deflection. This is fucking chaos.
You also get an assist. So let's say this happens a couple of times. Let's say you do a long ball forward, right? Mm-hmm. And then the defender sort of panics and heads the ball on, right, like a defensive error, and then pass it on to the forward and they score. That will now be an assist. So if you kind of if it's a defensive error, you will get the credit for that now.
Okay.
And then
I closed the window. It was very confusing. I'm just scrolling like a fucking psycho trying to find where you are.
And the other one is this forced handball. I've not really come across this one, but apparently they pulled it out.
One, right? The one where Pickford fucking did a goal kick all the way down, and the keeper handballed it. And then the guy took a penalty, and then we were like, does Pickford get an assist for that? Remember? And it was no, but now he does.
Oh yeah, because his long ball resulted in a handball, and then was a penalty, and therefore he now get the assist there. Yeah. So I mean, I don't.
That one thing that'll never happen again for 40 years is now granted.
I mean, for me, the one that seemed the most significant was I'm crossing into the box, it hits someone, and then the striker scores. That's now an assist. I think that's going to be the most common outcome from this.
Who spends the time in the box?
It's the players, it's the wingers that are getting that ball into the box.
Right.
They're the ones that are going to benefit the most. So, or you're overlapping fullbacks. I mean, to be frank,
being like big for Trent.
Yeah. I mean,
like
I don't
firing or De Bruyne's long crosses in.
Yeah, the reality of it is, there's not going to be that many goals impacted by this. I'm not sure if they've gone done and done.
What about like a corner kick that deflects and then the guy gets in the box and heads it in?
That would, as my understanding, that would count. Maybe that's more.
I think that's pretty significant potentially, or a set piece kick in. So this will be a big boost for corner takers and set piece takers, potentially, I guess. Yeah. And then you're just gonna have some weird shit every once in a while, like, I guess that's an assist now. Fucking pandemonium for an hour on social media.
I'd be interested to know how many goals don't get an assist with them, if that kind of makes sense. Because obviously the definition of an assist is already wider in FPL than it is in sort of the Opta stats or the official football stats.
Yeah.
So I already think I'm making this up like 70% of goals get assists anyway. So it's not going to get to 100, but it's obviously going to move closer towards that mark. That's what they're trying to do. But I don't think it's going to have a massive impact over the season, if I'm honest. But I mean, as I say, But you're right. It helps players that have corners and get the ball in the box a bit more. So
what was next then, mate? So weird team.
Do you want to do the 2 sets of chips? I mean, that's the easiest one to describe, right? I mean, that's just a little. I actually think the 2 sets of chips and the AFCON thing together because they do interact, particularly the first half of the season.
Definitely. So this is where we could talk for fucking 8 hours. Because it transitions right into strat. I think the first... My take on this is, before you tell everyone, why don't you say what we got? Why don't you tell the listeners what we have?
So there's 2 things that happen. So we now have wildcard, free hit, triple captain and bench boost for the first half of the season and the second half of the season. So you have them and you have to use them in the first half of the season and then the second half of the season are separate. Last season, we would have had wild card across both, but not the free hit, triple captain, and bench boost. So that is a big change, and we have lost the Ass Manager. So that's gone, which I know everyone hated. But we now have 2 lots of bench boost to play, which always seems to create lots of fun and games, is kind of my takeaway. And then the second thing they've done, which was kind of surprising, is for game week 16, which is when AFCON starts, so African Cup of Nations, so your Salahs and your Boomos and your Vissas all disappear to AFCON. We will all get 5 free transfers from that in that week. And that's regardless. So if you had 1 transfer, 2 transfers, 3 transfers, 4 transfers rolled over, however many transfers you've got, it boosts up to 5, which means, wow, that's a very surprise. That's a really surprise. I mean, I think the idea is you can I don't know, if you had Mo and Boomo, you can sell them both with your extra transfers you've got, and then you can buy them back in a few weeks' time when they're back from AFCON. I guess that's the theory behind it, is to stop putting people off who've got all these African players and suddenly look at their team and go, oh, damn, I haven't got enough transfers without getting a hit. So I guess that's why they've done it. But it gives us a lot more transfers if you throw in the free hit and the wild card in. Well, I guess we've always had wild card in the first half of the season, right? But anyway, yeah. So I think it's quite a big impact on strategy, right, Kev? Because we're just going to talk about chips all season. Is kind of my takeaway.
Yeah, so I mean, they flooded the fucking market with liquidity, like they're the U.S. Fed or something. Like, I don't understand why we need so many transfers. Like, it's like okay, so last year you can bank 5, now you just get $1 billion, right? I mean, the AFCON thing is dumb. I think everyone thinks it's dumb. I guess it's there to help engagement. I mean, you're gonna have Mo and Mbumo. You're gonna have Mo, probably, but I mean, he's not guaranteed. He might come in like fucking 15 million and might not even be a thing this year. And like his fixtures aren't as like consistently good as Holland's anyway. And then maybe you have Mbumo if he goes to Man U. He's overpriced. Maybe not. 8 Nori looks. I don't know. Like you just said, you'd probably rather have Vardiol at 6.5, 6 than 8 Nori at 6. So. How many fucking guys are even? I mean, Vissa could be unreal if he's on pens and Boom does go maybe on 1. But Barry said it in the Slack. It's not just about moving 5. It's about selling 2 and buying 2 back when they come back. I guess so. I get to me, it's so close to when you get your next wild card as well. It's just sort of like you can have like 3 wild cards basically here. It's like way too much to. So that's my first thought on it. There's just too many transfers. My second thought is typically all our chips are used in the second half of the year because all the double game weeks are there. Typically, I know that people have liked to punt on bench boost in the first couple of weeks, the last here and there, but typically everybody likes to. Triple captain on a double game week, free hit on the blank game week, bench boost on the double game week from basically like game week 28 to 34, where chip, it's fucking chip time. Everybody's rank soaring. I think what is going to be very unique about this is just there's just going to be a flood of chips right away at the beginning of the season being used here, and probably. I think game week, we talked about this on that other little test pod we did randomly that I'm sure 0 people listen to. Basically, like game week 2 looks ripe for bench boost. If you were going to not bench, if you only had 1 and you were not going to bench boost on a double game week later, like just the fixtures of the players you would want on your bench and stuff are like really good. And then you can just, and like, you could have had a pretty good game week 1 squad out as well, and then you would just wild card in game week 3. I mean, that's just basically going to be like template now for all these extra bonus chips. I think once people start analyzing this shit, you're just going to see everyone's going to bench boost game week 2 and wild card game week 3. I think that's going to be the only variance will probably be free hit. It'll be a Holland versus a Burnley week, or you know what I mean, like that kind of.
I mean, triple captain.
That's what I meant. Sorry, did I say free hit? I
did.
Yeah,
you said free hit.
The triple captain there'll be variants. I think the free hit will be more. We all have 3 City and we all have 2 Chelsea or whatever, and they have like they both have bad fixtures the same.
We're playing each other
now. Yeah. So free hit. that there'll be like some obvious one that works best with the template.
So on those points, so I think the AFCON means wildcarding early is easier, and I think people wildcard early anyway. So I think that kind of links to your point. I saw someone saying, well, why would you not bench boost in game week 1? So obviously I bench boost in game week 2 last year, which I'm sure everyone's aware of. But the reason for that was because we knew we had this extra chip coming and we didn't know what it was. And it was harder to then play in the doubles. And it turned out the manager was a bit tricky because obviously it ran over 3 game weeks. But I mean, obviously that's not the world we live in now. But I think the reason why you want to bench boost early anyway, whether it's game week 1, 2, or 3, I mean, I agree with you. I think 2 looks right for it. We all know that bench boost always sort of hangs over your head a little bit, and you always want to have all 4. And obviously, the more time you spend, the greater the chances that you end up not being able to field a full bench, which would be quite annoying on a bench boost. And it's very risky on a single game week, right? There's always a chance that there's a niggle you don't know about in the presser. If you go, I think we talked about Arsenal playing Luton at home in game week 2. I mean, you're at the hands of Arteta not mentioning to you that Gabriel had a bit of a knock in training, because he will never tell you. He'll just rock up and, oh, by the way, he's not playing today. The reason why I don't like game week 1 bench boost is the first game's on a Friday. So you literally get in the pressers on the day you're trying to finalise the squad. And I think and then you will have, like clubs like Chelsea and Man City, or Chelsea probably more than Man City because they went further, who's actually going to play for them in that first game because of the some back a bit back late from training. You might have a new transfer coming in that's messing it up. So I think that makes game week 1 a bit harder. But game week 2, you get a little bit more information. But of course, there's always a risk of an injury. So see how that plays out. I think you're right on triple captain. We'll be targeting the Burnley, or be a Haaland or Salah at home, right? It's going to be that, and it's toss the coin if you get the right choice. I think free hit's interesting because I think I agree with you. It might be the weeks when some of the bigger teams play each other. Maybe there's a week I haven't looked yet where you go, oh, for some reason Arsenal playing Liverpool this week, Man City play Chelsea. If that were happen, that's maybe a good week to target. What I would say is, what I don't like about free hitting in a normal game week is there's a greater chance that you get a worse score than your actual team, because it's typical, right? You go, oh yeah, Man City are playing Chelsea, I'll ignore it, and then Haaland gets a hat trick, Vardio gets an assist, and he gets his C bit as well, and whatever, and he's got all these points, and you've basically sold them because you put all your money on Arsenal at home, someone crap, and Everton. Right. Clean sheets or whatever it is. I think there's a risk of that. I wonder if the free hit would be interesting alongside the AFCON thing as well. If you could almost, I know you got all those transfers, but could you almost use the free hit to negate having to use all those 5 juicy free transfers you got from the AFCON thing and keep them rolling over or something like that? I don't know.
So you don't sell Mo?
Yeah, you kind of free hit him out, or
free hit like one of the weeks. So it's not as big a deal.
Yeah,
and then you're sort of like giving yourself 5 extra transfers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it needs to be
the only person that wants more free transfers based on this news. You don't have enough.
It's more, but could you do something different with it? I mean, the only other thought I had was with the bench boost. If for some reason it looks quite hard for game week 1 or game week 2. I think it's worth thinking what other game week looks quite good, and there's also a chance of you could wildcard the week before or whatever, and then you could build up a couple of the other way of playing the bench boost would be, which would be more transfer free, and maybe this is better because you've got those 5 transfers, is you do a wildcard but you've already banked a few transfers, and then you bench boost the week after. But if you've got a handful of transfers in your hand, if you have got a bit of bad injury news, you can actually tweak your squad without having to take hits. Because what I would say is my game week 2 last year, I did take a hit. I know my outcome was good, but I did have to take a hit to field my full team. So, I mean, it's slightly risky.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot. I mean, look, basically you're just going to... I think that because we tend to save our chips for the second half of the year anyway, the second half of the year won't feel much different. It's just the first half of the year is going to be like everyone bowls bench boost game week 2, everyone wildcards game week 3. I think that's going to be very, very, very common. then it's going to be roll. You don't need to use a transfer in game week 1. You don't use a game week transfer in game week 2. So we're all going to have a few banked already anyway, and then it's going to be like, boom. Fuck. Then it'll get to like game week 10, and it'll be like, oh, we gotta be like you. There's no need to be banking. It's like we're gonna get 5 coming up. Like punt here. Like when the one other thing that will come out of this is once you get to like game week 14, 15, 16 rather, people will be like, time to punt. Because if it doesn't go well, I got 5 transfers coming up for free here. I can easily undo that. Like take a punt on Hervey Barnes, blah blah blah, or Alanga, whatever Newcastle guy sexy at the time, and then fuck, you lost the spot to Murphy. Okay, no problem. 5 free transfers, no big deal.
Yeah, I mean the other way you could. I mean, a couple of other thoughts in my head, just as is. You might in a position where you go, well, actually, Mo's been rested a week early for AFCON. I mean, there's a world where you like bench boost just before the AFCON 5 free transfers comes to you or something like that, or you wild card before it, and I don't know.
Bench boost? Wild card?
Yeah. You could bench boost just before it.
I'll talk about that later. What else changed?
So there was one other. So the other thing I was going to say is. Yeah, maybe that's ignore that comment. There was something in my head and it didn't quite compute properly.
Bonus point changes.
There was one of the thing I was just going to say on the chips is we have had a situation, I'm sure, in the last couple of years when there has been a double game week in the first half of the season.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, no, that's obviously for like an unintended, like a weather related or something like that.
Yeah, it won't be good for bench boost, but it'll be good for like triple captain.
Triple captain, exactly. Exactly. That's all potentially free hit. So I'm not. So I think I guess it's worth looking if there's any possibility, if there was some sort of postponement, could you end up with an extra game? I don't think it's worth holding out for that. I think you're best off just attacking the best fixture. But it's just worth pointing out. It's unlikely, but it is possible to get a double game week in the first half of the season. Okay. What other changes have we got, Kev? What are you going to say? Is it? How many have we done? We've done 4 now.
There's some bonus point changes I didn't even read yet, so you're going to have to explain them. I'm reading.
I haven't read it myself, so I can't tell you.
Okay, goalkeeper saves. In a previous season, goalkeepers would earn 2 beeps. Or 2 points in the beeps for each save. This season, however, the shot location will be the determining factor. A goalkeeper will now earn 3 points in the beeps if the shot was taken from inside the penalty area, or 2 points from outside. So basically, they get a bit more points.
Ooh,
A penalty save will result in a minimal reduction from 9 points in the beeps to 8 this season. Oh, fuck. That changes everything. Added to the 3 beeps for saving a shot that was taken from inside the box, this gives a total of 11 beeps. Jesus Christ. So basically, they get a penalty save, it's over. They get 3 bonus points guaranteed.
Well, if you remember last year, Kev, they massively reduced the bonus points on the goalkeeper penalty save. So you remember last year we had all these bonus point changes, and it kind of like killed the defenders getting beeps. They then gone, we over adjusted, and they've gone back the other way.
The main thing was if they got every goal they let in, they just got crucified on.
So the goal line
if you didn't keep a clean sheet, none of these guys are getting beeps now unless they got a goal or something. So the other changes are goal line clearances. To recognize the importance of a goal line clearance and how crucial it can be to a match result, the player will now earn 9 points in the beeps as opposed to 3. Penalty goals, a new penalty goals scored metric has been introduced to differentiate from regular goals. A player will earn 12 beeps if they get a penalty for scoring a penalty regardless of his position. In previous seasons, forwards got 24, midfielders earned 18, and defenders got 12. So they've not only did they add recoveries and shit for mids, they fucking reduced beeps for forwards, dude. Forwards are going to be
penalties.
Trash.
On penalties. So
still a reduction. So like Chris Wood, it's dead.
All right, yeah. So someone like a Chris Wood, you win the game.
He's not going to have 9-point games anymore after stuff like this, man.
Yeah,
I'm not even done yet. Like, there's more. So successful tackles, which won't be a good thing for forwards. This will not be good for forwards. The metric used to judge tackles has been changed to increase the likelihood of players being rewarded in the beeps and get bonus points. The 2 beeps points previously awarded for each successful tackle net statistic, which was the total of tackles won minus tackles lost, has been simplified. This season, each tackle won in a match will be rewarded with 2 beeps. Again, how many fucking forwards are tackling people? How many mids and D? It's just like the mids just benefit from every single tweak they've made. Forwards get hurt. D benefits, but they got crucified last year. So D are probably now more relevant than they were at the end of last year. Just clearly. Mids are, we shall out of 5 mids is what I'm reading. And forwards, I mean, this might be a good transition to the price releases because we just only know so far as 3, but he's at 10.5.
That seems expensive.
So he's way more expensive. He's going to get less points. There's no way these guys are going to get the same amount of points because last year, usually if a forward scored a goal, they were getting like 2 or 3 beeps. Because it's fucking footy. There's like one goal a game.
But now if they score, and even if it's a non-penalty goal, the chance of getting it, the chance has gone down because other players, mids and defenders, will get more beeps,
clearances and.
Yeah,
outside the keepers are gonna. I bet you like there'll be. There's a chance you're gonna have like 2 keepers getting 1, 2. Like 2 of them will be in the beeps every game now in a 1-0 game, 2-0 game, 2-1 game. Like they're gonna have so many more points for saves. You're gonna
it's not that many more. It's only gone from 2 beeps to 3 beeps, hasn't it?
Can the goalkeeper get the goal line clearance? Like how do they differentiate that?
I think the goal line clearance is defender only. Your goalkeeper can't do a goal line clearance because every save is arguably, and every time they save the ball on the line, oh well done, congratulations.
Every single one of those beat changes was bad for forwards and good for others.
Yeah, I mean the penalty change is a slight hit to midfielders because they were saying the midfielders got 18 for a goal, but now they get 12 for penalty goal. So someone like a Bruno Fernandes who scores a few penalties would be slightly hit by that.
Yeah.
I mean. I'm not sure it's going to be as significant as... I think you're right. I think defenders have got a great chance of getting the beeps now. The fact they've got a great chance of getting bonus points with a clean sheet, and then they've got the chance of getting the C-bit 2-point bonus as well, makes defenders a lot more attractive. We just need to work out which ones they are. And then you've got someone like... and then you've got a forward who scores a penalty goal in a 1-0 win will not be getting beeps anymore, ever.
I looked at the... cheeky bastard point defender one and the list of who would have got points last year. They were all center backs on what you would consider shittier teams that happen to be decent defensive. So like Forest and Everton, they were at the top. I find that every year there's like 1 or 2 or 3 teams that are like they're not keeping like 15 to 18 cleans like the Arsenal or the City of the year that will get the golden or whatever the fucking most clean sheet award's called. But they get like 12 to 14, which is like really good for how shitty they're typically viewed as a team, like a bottom. Like Forest had a great year last year. Every other year you'd consider them a bottom half of the table team, right? Like last year was an anomaly. Hopefully they keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Like every year there's usually like 1 or 2 teams that come out of nowhere. Like Sheffield United that one year with Lundstrom. You know what I mean? Like they come out of nowhere and they keep like 12 cleans. Like the center back on that fucking team is going to be up there with Vardiol. like Tarkowski and like they showed Milinkovic and Murillo would have led the league in points last season based on these changes. They played for Forest. Murillo had like a goal. Milinkovic had like 5 goals with like 1-2 bonus points on the season. Like the clean sheet, like 12 clean sheets, and these extra cheeky bastard points are going to put them up there with the best players in the league. So like if you can get, what would be interesting to see is are they getting the clean sheets the same week they're getting the cheeky bastard points, or are they getting the clean sheets versus Wolves, and they're getting the cheeky bastard points versus Arsenal? So it's not that they're getting 8 points, 10 points. They're getting 6. And then also, is Milenkovic going to be 6 million? Because now he's the highest fucking scoring guy in the game. Because if Ray and Nori's 6 million, why the fuck wouldn't I just go with 5 million Milenkovic, who's very probably going to get at least 8 Nori's points, even if 8 Nori gets like 3 goals and 3 assists playing for City and all these cleans, because he's not going to get all these recoveries. And like 3 goals and 3 assists is not going to be 40 fucking cheeky bastard points. It's not going to be 40 points. It's going to be like 20 points.
So Kev, can I just check, when you saw that defender thing when they went to the top, was that just allowing for the C bit?
They recalibrated so like on the article where they showed, they said here's how that they were specifically talking about them, and they showed how number 1 overall point score last year was. But now it's Milenkovic and then Murillo and then I think like Vardiol or Trent or whoever.
Yeah, but the reason why I asked the question is that covers the C bit, so it doesn't allow for the fact, it ignores the bonus point change we just talked about. So if you allow for the bonus point change, some of those defenders would have got even more points. Is what I was going to with
I don't know if it did, but yeah, the point
I suspect it didn't,
all comes down to how much are they going to be priced.
That's a lot to factor in though, because if you then have to recalibrate the bonus points, there's a lot of faff there, because you then need to work it out relative to other players, right? And that feels like a lot of calculation. Whereas the other one, it's more a case of, did you get 10 of these things? Yes or no. It's quite binary, isn't it? And it's in isolation. Whereas the bonus point obviously has a knock-on impact elsewhere. So Kev, we have 4 price reveals. If you want to jump on that?
There was 3. Okay, let's hear them. Wait, let me go to that article or whatever.
Okay, we've got, well, I think we've mentioned 2 already. So Alexander Isak at 10.5 million. I think based on all the other changes, that seems very expensive. And we know he gets quite a few pens. We've got at them. You got Ryan Aït-Nouri at 6 million for Man City, which I think
that's about right. I think, especially based on this like bump for defender points, and he's going to be. My take on Aït-Nouri was, for whatever reason, whoever Pep's just signed on D seems to be the most nailed D on the team. So it's like last year it was, Vardiol was the newest D signed, and like Lewis made the team, and he seemed kind of nailed. He just was so fucking bad, he lost his spot eventually. But I see Aït-Nouri's probably, this is going to push Vardiol back to center back, and Aït-Nouri's going to be the left back, right? I think those 2 will be pretty locked every game, and I expect Vardiol to come in at like 6.5 million, maybe with these price rule change bumps 7 million. He's not going to be the same price as Aït-Nouri with how good Vardiol was last year. But
agreed.
It'll be interesting because Aït-Nouri is definitely going to be the guy running in on the wing.
And then the other 2 price reveals, Florian Wirtz. So he is the new Liverpool guy.
Where's this price?
He is 8.5 million.
Where's that?
It's on the article. It has been revealed during our chat.
It's not in the article. I'm in the article.
I can see it on my article.
They fucking like update the article. Let me go reload. Oh, there he is.
There you go. Told you.
He fucking updated it like while we were doing this. Okay. 8.5, eh? So that one's interesting. He's not on pens, but that's, they paid fucking $8 million for him. So
over 100 million quid for him. So, the thing with that is, how quickly does he hit the Premier? I think he's a hard buy until you see how well he plays in the Premier League. Right, he's obviously going to be right. They've paid the money because they think he's going to be absolutely. He sounds like he's going to be outstanding for them. But I think it's a hard buy.
Man. It's just like goals, assists. Obviously it's an overpay no matter what he did. That's the highest fucking number like I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. To me, the best part about all this is just like my couple Liverpool fan friends that I have made an absolute living on whinging about how Man City buy titles. Like what are they going to whine about now? Like the City fans will be like, fuck, at least we don't drop 150 on Fabian Wirtz. And what do they got the other guy this morning for 95? Like Jesus. You see that?
Yeah.
It's crazy money that they're spending right now. Like, what's happening? I don't understand how this money is.
Well, anyway, I guess, I'd want to see him play first before I start paying 8.5 million quid on him. But I could also see the world where you go, Florian Wirtz is the alternative to Mo, right? And you can see someone like me doing that at some point, right?
He's going to be way more nailed than any other. Like I think he'll be. The reason he'll be attractive is I think Mo is going to be fucking crazy price. He's going to be like Haaland was last year. So he's going to already be like, is it worth not getting him? And he has AFCON. And then secondly, he's going to be as nailed as Mo. He's not going to be like Luis Diaz and Gakpo, where it's like, oh, maybe he'll play, maybe, Mo for sure playing every game. I think it's going to be like Flo and Mo every fucking game they start. Who else is playing? There's no way they're paying this money for this guy, and he's not. But he would have to be like, remember when Mane went bananas and was like basically just as good as Mo, except for pens.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down to probably the pens aren't going to be worth the like extra 7-8 million you got to pay for Mo. Right?
Well,
so and from the way the fixtures start this year, dude, like you're gonna like Haaland is like a captain. He's like a captain favorite almost every single week for like the first 14 weeks. Like sure, there's a game here or there that Mo would be like just as good or slightly better, but like you don't need Mo with Haaland as a captain, so you can get. I think Wirtz will actually be very popular to start just because that price is not 10.5, right? And he's a mid, and mid's just got a bump. He might be the guy sending the crosses into the middle. He might take over set pieces, or I don't know if he took set pieces for. Where is he at Leverkusen? I didn't even
Leverkusen, I think. Yeah.
Pay any attention to this guy except for he was in World Cup and everyone was talking about him. But I think whoever's taking over all these set pieces for Trent will be interesting with this bump in how the assist ricochet rule works and that kind of thing. So there's lots to consider.
Yeah, and then the last one is Jordan Pickford is 5.5. Which is what we were talking about in the last pod, saying because he was the top scoring goalkeeper the last 2 seasons. Are they going to be brave enough to put him at the high goalkeeper price? And the fact they've also thrown in a greater chance of him getting bonus points with the bonus point change we talked about before, and maybe assists, given that obviously he's always going to kick the ball and handball it, and this time he'll get the assist because that's going to happen every season, obviously.
Well,
they've now got the 5.5.
You're assuming with that statement that he's in the highest bracket.
I am.
They might reintroduce the Allison Ederson 6 mil, Raya 6 mil. I don't see it, but not.
If you look at the goalkeeper price, we talked about this last season. You got a very small spread between 4.5 to 5.5 in terms of points scored, and therefore, I just think the goalkeeper is going to be 4.5, 5, and 5.5. That's the price of your goalkeepers. You got your 4 millions that don't play, and occasionally one plays, and we'll get excited about it. It's a great bench or whatever.
They basically just completely killed Pickford for fans. I mean, this is the thing we said before was technically he's the highest scoring keeper 2 years in a row. He technically should be the highest priced.
Yeah.
However, we would still rather have the premium team's keeper, like, if fucking Nori's 6 and Vardy's 6.5, and maybe they sell Ederson and they buy Trafford from whatever fucking Burnley is the rumor right now. Then he comes in at 5. Imagine he comes in at 4.5 because he's Burnley. Like, dude, hopefully they know about this rumor. He comes in like cheap go. But say he's 5.5. Wouldn't you rather have 5.5 than the 6.5 if you're only getting it for cleans? Like, I don't know. I think broad statement, I'm more confident than ever that I'm going to want to start with a 4.5 million keeper. Just like the point variance is so minimal, man. It's the only reason to not do it is to get like Raya a million or a half a million cheaper than just like a fucking Saliba.
The only thing I would say in the goalkeepers are, and I'm saying this if you can predict it, but if you could break the season down, you remember sort of last season, like Raya was like incredible the first 6-7 games, and I'm not saying you could then predict, then he's going to fall off a cliff a little bit, but if you could somehow get the goalkeepers when they go through their runs, I guess there may be a way. I don't know. I feel as if you could somehow, I'm saying as if you can like read minds of what's going to happen or predict the future. But there was a little bit of goalkeepers do go through these runs. I mean, if you remember, Pickford had a bad start to last season, but the second half of the season was really strong. And that was partly because of manager change, I suspect. That was probably the biggest driver there. But there's a little bit of, could you jump across your goalkeepers to maximise the points? I think it's hard to do. But given we've got, as you say, we've got so many transfers now, because why not? So I mean, that's my only thing I'm thinking about. I'm not sure I'm going to get. I'm not sure how I'm going to predict the future. I'll let you know in the next pod. But
I think it's okay. So from all these changes, to sort of recap where my mind's at, like forwards are going to be overpriced now, especially. Yep. You know, Holland's got such a strong fixture run, and City have such a strong fixture run, and there's so much uncertainty in how these new players are going to fit in the team and everything, that like he's probably worth it to start.
But can I check that though?
But
what happens if there's a midfielder that you got that you go, you might go, Chelsea's fixtures, and I've not looked at them, but Chelsea's fixtures
they're pretty good.
Palmer,
they're actually pretty good.
And you go, you know what? I'm just going to captain Palmer the whole time.
They're not at. Like they're pretty good, but Cities are like really, really, really good.
But so but the reason why I'm saying that
2D and Rodri then, and I don't know.
But the reason why I'm saying it is what we've just been talking about, which is the forwards have been killed a bit. So, but then we're also saying that Haaland's the guy you want as your captain, which is interesting because you could argue that maybe the midfielders going to be better.
Potentially. So this is what I'm saying. Where my whole big picture thought is. I think I want to have like a really balanced squad to start, especially if I'm going to bench boost game week 2 and then wildcard, which I'm very likely doing based on the limited info I know about what I've seen. So I'm going to want to go pretty like broad based anyway. I'm going to want to go with proven players. I'm going to want like Bowens and stuff, not fucking Regendi or whatever his fucking name is, or like guys that I don't know who they are, or like that have just been transferred over from even within the Premier League. Like I'm not going to want much of that. I probably wouldn't have had Palmer until he just had that unreal game. Like he reminds me of Rashford, where he's a confidence player just because he went so cold. There's no other way to describe how bad he was to say he just didn't have confidence. So like he seems like a player I want now. Like my thought is like I know that the forwards seem overpriced, but City have such by far the best fixtures for the first little while, including the first 2 weeks. Like great fixtures, game week 1, game week 2. That I think the forward price being the forward points being less attractive, and Haaland obviously going to be expensive even if he comes down $500,000 or $1 million or something, because he was really expensive last year. Say he comes down a bit, I'm still going to want him because the rest of City is just so I don't know. And I don't want to be gambling on. I'm not going to want their keeper right now because there's rumors that they're being sold and Trafford's being brought in. I maybe I go Vardiol, Nori, and then who? It's probably Haaland, because like I don't know which mid's going to be the mid. I don't know what other D is going to be the D, and I probably don't want to go triple D anyway.
I think Rodri.
I would go Rodri, but like he has a niggle. He's already out of training, so like fuck, I'm not going to go Rodri in game week 1 unless I know he's played like 4 summer league games and he's on fire. Then I'll go Rodri. I probably would go Rodri at the expense of the double D though, and still just go Haaland because his fixture's just so good, and like you know what, I know he's gonna fucking play.
I mean, effectively, what we're saying is you kind of play the first two game weeks in isolation if you're in a bench boost, and then you get a bit more information.
How are these points going? It just fits bench boosting 2 and wildcarding 3 so perfectly.
Because
we don't know how things are really going to happen yet. We're just speculating.
The only downside of wildcard in game week 3 is, and I'd have to triple check this, but I'm pretty certain the wildcard would be done just before or just as the window's closing, so you don't, although I think a lot of clubs are trying to do those, those transfers early doors, so you can miss out on that, and you don't have as full as information at that time of season. I do feel my game week 3 wildcard last year was okay, but I felt like within a few weeks was a bit outdated.
Well, maybe a few more then, because you're going to have bench cover having just bench boost. I mean,
yeah,
I would still want to take away from like tacking that bench boost though, and like actually get.
Agreed.
Remember, it's your fourth and fifth D, and your shittiest attacker that is your bench boost, and obviously you're going to have two keepers, but so
yeah.
It's not going to be that great.
I think that's agreed. I mean, you might get lucky like I did last season to get 20 odd, but I think you're more realistic is like 10 to 15 is probably what would be seen as a decent outcome.
You get no attacking returns, you should get an 8 just on appearance. So you hope to get. I mean, out of like remember it's football. Like these guys don't fucking score every game. Sometimes it seems like they do, but they don't. They get like really good players get like 10 goals and 8 assists over 38 weeks. So like the chances of like all the guys on your bench getting clean sheets, and I mean maybe these new like maybe you want like the best recovery guys. You're like, hey, I'm looking just for like a 4-pointer. That's not bad. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think one thing I will look at is it possible to bench boost game week 2, just use a single transfer in game week 3 to have a team that I'm happy with, and then wildcard in game week 4 with a little bit more information. And the other thing is, I'm not sure when the international breaks are, because that's the other thing, right? That's the other thing that bites you quite early on.
Between 4 and 5, typically.
Yeah. So,
but that's usually a scam. I mean, in terms of price changes, it's irrelevant. It's more just like, I don't want anyone to get injured. But
yeah, it's more that, exactly.
We have a billion transfers now with probably going to be fine.
Right, we should wrap it up there. And I think one thing, so the game's going to launch sometime this week is almost certain, right, given where we are. So we'll come back, do a pod. Hopefully the sound on this, I don't sound like I'm drowning in a submarine somewhere, because that would be fantastic if we actually sound good. As well as looking good, of course. And then, but I think we should dig up our price predictions from the previous pod, the last pod. Maybe have to listen to that through work, because I'm not sure we even wrote them down. We probably planned to and then forgot to.
I think we mentioned Ain't Nori at 5.5 or 6.
But anyway,
we definitely mentioned Vardy at 6.5. I remember that. So
I'm going to go through that.
I'd be shocked if Vardy's not 6.5 now.
I'm going to write down our price predictions and see how good or bad we were.
I had a feeling,
and all my excuses are going to be, well, I didn't know they were going to change all the rules, so if I'd known that, I'd have got the price right.
Let me do a quick reload. Maybe they've added someone else. Nope.
I think they were just doing a midfielder, goalkeeper, defender, and striker today, and it looks like it can be. I've somehow joined the WhatsApp channel by accident. So there's a WhatsApp channel with people voting on stuff, but it looks like the vote's closed for the day. So I think I'm cool. Right.
I just hate this like. It's gonna launch. Get a low ID. I'm actively not participating this year. I am going to not sit there reloading to get 1,200 or whatever. I'm actually gonna wait till like that night. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. It doesn't actually matter even a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, the whole game doesn't really matter. But let's not go.
Well, they also have
that other league thing. Are we 1%ers or 10%ers or whatever? Like, I don't know how that works. I mean, I know you had an off year. I don't know if that impacted. Like, I feel like you're still probably in it.
There's some sort of league thing. Did we not talk about
that? Yeah. So there's 11 million people. Were you in the 1.1 million? I think you were, right? I mean, you had an off year, but you were like 500,000.
I'll be in the second group. I won't be in the first group. That's for certain.
What was the first group then?
1%.
11,000?
1%, and one for top 10%.
Oh, 110. Yeah, so, okay. Did I mean, I can't remember what I got. I think it was...
So you'll definitely be in the Elite Global League for next season.
Is that 10%? I think I would have made both of those, yeah. Typically would make... Typically, you and I make both of those.
I won't make the top 1% because you got to.
No, you had an off year for sure, though, dude. Like you normally make both.
But I presume you're only in the top 1%. Oh, you think you're in both? You think in the top 1% and the top 10%? You get both leagues rather than. I presume. So. My default would have been you in the top 1% league, and then everyone else in the top 10% league. See what happens.
Well, it's just gonna be one of those fucking leagues. Like I'm with everyone in Canada, and you're like with everyone that's an Arsenal fan.
I mean, it's probably the least exciting things happening. Right? Should we close off there, man?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's hope it's work, buddy. Have a nice rest of your